Okay, so this is a video just gonna babble about the manga I've started to work on, and if you don't feel like hearing that, then go away. It is pretty much spoiler free though, if you're interested. Let me say that this manga is not intended as an original idea. It's meant to be an adaptation of something else. And if you figure out what that something else is, which I think most of you will, I'd like to hear. And I'd like to hear when in the video you figured it out, just because that would be interesting for me to know. So, let's get started. The title of the manga is The Dog with the Devil's Luck, and right there I'm coming against my first translation problem, because that's my English working title. I wouldn't know how to say the devil's luck in Japanese. I can probably figure out luck. I don't know how to say it yet, but I can figure that out without much trouble. But I can't think of how to do an expression that carries the same kind of connotation as the devil's luck. I know several words for demon, but I don't think just attaching that's going to cut it. But that's a word for later. Let's go through the characters, and these are just straight from my character notes that I've pulled up here. And I'm even going to go ahead and read my visual notes on the characters and their appearances and what I need to think about. So let's start with title character Shido. Or Sid. The dog with the devil's luck. The Toda's family pet with a particularly strong attachment to Kenta. I'll get to Todas and Kenta in a minute. A friendly, energetic mutt with an insatiable appetite. Despite his size, he's kind of a wuss. Fumika has identified Sid as a major mystical anomaly, but cannot determine the exact details as he is completely cloaked against magical senses. But for whatever reason, the people around him are constantly getting into the most unlikely problems and getting out of them in equally unlikely ways. And then on his visual notes, we'll need a consistent appearance, pointed upright ears and narrow jaw, reference German Shepherd, Husky, and maybe some wolves as well. For build, reference Great Dane and German Shepherd again. Sid needs to be big. Luckily, he is a mutt, he's not a purebred, so I don't have to worry about him conforming exactly to the appearance of a particular breed of dog. Next character, sort of the most normal, the viewpoint character. Toda Kenta, 16 years old and average high school second year, which in the American schooling system equates to a high school junior. Kenta wants nothing to do with the supernatural. It's not like he doesn't believe in ghosts and demons and all that. He just wishes they would leave him alone. Kenta lives with his family in Tokyo and attends high school whenever he's able, which is not as often as he'd like because he's always getting caught up in the things with Sid and just all these weird adventures. And his family is way too relaxed about the whole thing. The visual notes basically say that this picture that I've already got, yeah, this is the picture I've already done. My visual notes basically say I need to start over. His hair and his uniform are both too complicated, and they're not really that interesting. And I don't need him to have interesting uniform and hair because he's supposed to be kind of ordinary and not to stand out so much. But if I'm going to do that, I want it to be simple. Simple uniform, simple hair. I do want him to have an attractive face, so for reference for that, I'm probably going to need to look at shoujo, not shonen. That is, girls manga, not boys manga. And I need to design what the kind of things he wears out of uniform, because he's not going to wear his school uniform all the time. Next character is the Rune Knight Kojima Yusuke. 18 years old, the current Rune Knight. That's like a title that's passed down from person to person. Get into it more in the manga. When his mentor died 4 years ago, Yusuke dropped out of school to take up the title of Rune Knight, a move his mother opposed absolutely to the point of kicking him out of the house. He still tries to keep in touch with his little sister. And then I have visual notes based on, compared to this picture I've got of him. You can already tell the hair is not very creative, but I'm okay with that because it's simple and easy to draw and works for the character. But my notes on that is that he needs a new symbol on his jacket. If you couldn't see, he had a little cross over the heart. The cross doesn't fit the Nordic origins of the Rune Knight. I wasn't really thinking that much about it when I drew it. And I noted that since his jacket is open, that could showcase a lot of scarring. You know, he's a guy who's been in a lot of fights. Scars would be good, but facial scars are a bit overdone. But, you know, I think you could have a lot of scarring on the chest, and one of his arms is heavily bare, and could maybe do something there. And Yusuke is left-handed. I need to not forget that while drawing him. That's just kind of a fluke. I was drawing him and not paying too much attention. Put his sword in the hand closest to me, and then I'm like, wait a minute, that's his left hand. He's left-handed now. I figured I'd just roll with it. And the same outfit all the time is okay. He doesn't need to change outfits. And if I attempt shading in the manga, and I don't know how much shading I'm going to bother with, but if I attempt shading, I need to remember that his jacket is leather and it should shine a little bit. Okay, next character, the Demon Slayer Aoyama Tatsuko. 17 years old, partner to Yusuke, and the worst demon slayer ever. Tatsuko is terrified of most supernatural beings, so she learned possibly the world's most destructive art, demon slaying, in order to defend herself. The problem is that when faced with the demon, mage, or any sort of supernatural threat, she's usually too scared to use her magic. Instead, she screams and hides behind something typically Yusuke. However, she has no problems bringing her phenomenal power to bear against lesser threats, like people in masks or a cockroach in the kitchen. I don't have a picture of her yet, but visual notes. Beauty is essential. Large bust, slender limbs, long hair. Lots of detail on her eyes. And a small patch of red in her veins on her right, on the viewer's left. Her clothes should show off her figure if possible, but practicality comes first. I need to come up with multiple outfits. She doesn't wear the same thing all the time. Lots of white and crosses are okay. Seems more appropriate for a demon slayer to do, you know, crosses and that sort of Christian religious motif. I need to get some good models for her legs because they're going to be at least partially bare in some of the pictures of her. And she's still in school, so I need to design a uniform. I'm still pondering whether she's in the same school as Kinta, in which case I would want to use a similar color scheme. But she might be in a different school, in which case I'd probably want it to really look like it's not the girls' version of the same uniform. Oh, actually, they don't always look at all similar. Final character. The Lore Master, Hirase Fumika. 16 years old, a shy nerd who mastered the lore at the age of 10. Considered the magic of geniuses, the lore allows a person to control their memory, turning their mind into a well-organized databank of unlimited capacity. With this art at her command, Fumika has already graduated college and lives alone in a small apartment. She has a crush on Kinta. My visual notes is that she's going to have large glasses, and I should draw her eyes oversized when possible to show the effect of they're behind the glass and kind of makes them look a little larger. Slender figure, small bust, small in general, and how short can I make her? Her hair should be short and simple. Plain, practical clothes. I'm not sure if she should wear pants or a skirt. It might vary. She's also going to wear various outfits because, well, she's not restricted to a uniform. She's out of school. And anyway, people do tend to wear various outfits. So those are the characters, and I'm almost out of time, so yeah.